Welcome back. Today I'm going to try to solve some puzzles on chess.com as part of my daily chess development. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or chess coach. I'm not even really that good at this game, but I'm trying to get better. And supposedly working on puzzles is one way to do that. I do feel that working on puzzles throughout the last couple of years has helped me, especially when I do it regularly as I have been for the last few months. In my last puzzle solving video, I made it to 2248. Today I'm going to do as good as I can, or as well as I can, I should say. First thing I do is I look for checks. I think my only check in this position is capturing here with the rook on f7. So I doubt that's it. And I think that's also my only capture. But just in case, let's follow this out. I assume if I check here that the opponent is going to take back. Oh, maybe that is it, because their queen's undefended over here and my queen's pointed at it if I can just move this knight. So the question is, will they take back? Because if they do take back, I can just check again and then win their queen. And I will have given up a rook for a pawn and a queen, which is winning. Okay, so what do they do if they don't take back? Or I mean, what do I do if they don't take back? If they just move out of check, which would have to be to one of those three squares, then I would just get their knight. So maybe that is it. Let's see, do they have any other recourse besides taking or getting out of check? No, they can't capture the rook besides taking with the king. Let's see, are we even on material roughly? We are currently, no, I'm currently down a piece. I'm down a minor piece right now. Sometimes that helps to clarify what the purpose of the puzzle is. And very often, if you're down a piece or more, very often it's a checkmating sequence rather than just going up a piece here. But that's the queen, again, which I would get for a rook and a pawn. No, sorry, I would get the queen and the pawn for a rook, which is going up 5 points of material. And currently, I think I'm down 4 or 5 points of material. Let's see, no, I have one more pawn than they do. So I'm just down 2 points of material. So going up 5 points of material is good. Okay, so if they take, I check, and probably then the question would be which way to check, but I assume it's going to be on g5, not on e5, because on e5 they can take with the knight, and I wouldn't go up as much. And if they don't take, they have to stop guarding the knight, and I take it. Do I have anything else? I think I've overthought this enough. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Probably shouldn't have thought about it for that long, but I want to be right. I don't see anything else because I can't check now other than taking that pawn with the rook. Their queen isn't guarding that pawn because queens don't move that direction. When I first looked at the puzzle, I did briefly consider pushing my d-pawn forward because it threatens the rook. And I have, two rooks pointed at it, but they could take with the knight. And then I could take the knight and they could take back and I would go up, I think, a minor piece there. No, I would just go up and exchange there, I think. Okay, I'm going to take the f7 pawn. Hopefully that's right. Okay, it was right. And now I'm pretty sure I need to check on g5 and win their queen, because that's the only reason that I would have been willing to give up the rook. Let's do it. Okay, now before we take the free queen, do I have any mates or anything like that? I don't want to take the queen, and it says, nope, you should have checkmated them. I do have another check here, but that space is undefended. I think they would just take it. I don't have a check here or anything. I'm going to take the queen. I actually saw that one pretty early, but then I doubted it, and so, I checked for other things, and that took a while. And that puzzle has a pass rate that's hidden right there at the top of my camera view of 42.8%, so pretty good for me. Next puzzle. We have a bishop having moved over here to, I guess, pin that pawn. Also, they now have two attackers on that pawn, but I have, multiple defenders on that pawn. I just don't want to move it. Oh, they can also push this pawn forward, I guess, but no, then I would take. Well, let's look for checks. I don't have any, right? I can put this bishop here, which would prevent them from castling, but I don't think that's it. Well, I am glad that I got that last puzzle and this one because these are the things that I need to work on. As much as I don't like these puzzles because I'm not very good at them, this is where I tend to go wrong in games, is here in the, looks like just after the opening. I haven't even developed all my pieces yet. Neither one of us has had a chance to castle, and this is where I go wrong in games, and it's also where I have the hardest times in puzzles. Okay, since I don't have any checks, the only capture that I have, I think, is that knight, which doesn't look good. So I have to threaten something. I mean, can I threaten the queen here? I think they take. And then if I take back, then my queen is gone. And I could take their queen, but they could take my bishop. But then I could take their knight with check. And when they took that pawn back, I would get their bishop. But then they could check me and I would have to get out of check. Well, that seems really complicated. And I also don't know if that's going to leave me ahead or not. Let me count this up again. They take and I take back, we're even. And then they take my queen. And then I take their queen. So then we're even. They take my bishop, I take their knight with check, and we're even. They take the pawn, and I take their bishop. That leaves me up 2 points of material. But that's if that's how that plays out. They might do something different. Like I might move here, and they just slide the queen up. If they just slide the queen up, then I guess I could put this bishop over here pointed at the queen this way. Or they might take first, and then when I take back, then they move the queen up. And my queen's still under threat. Oh, if they move the queen up, then I would get the knight. Right now, their queen's the only thing defending the knight. This not only threatens their queen, it quits defending the knight. Oh my, that's probably wrong, but I don't see anything else, and we'll find out why it's wrong, if it is wrong. It was right. Okay, then it's got to be taking here because currently the knight is defended, so I don't want to take the knight now. I want to take that pawn now, I think, and then do the thing that we said. Oh my, hopefully that's right. Oh, it is. Well, then I have to take their queen, not the bishop. And then I have to take the knight with check, and then take their bishop. Oh, they didn't take my pawn. Because once I take the bishop, they're going to check me. And then I'm going to have to get out of check so that they don't check me over here. Oh no, they can't check me over there with the rook because of the pawn. It's got to be taking the bishop, and the king's the only thing I can take it with. I'm surprised that one's rated the same as the previous puzzle. This one felt a lot harder to me, and I was a lot more proud of myself for finding that. But according to the rating system here on this site, they're rated very similarly. The last one was 2000, and this one's 2003. And this one has a higher pass rate, which surprises me. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good so far. Next puzzle. Oh, they've checked me. Wait, I'm playing with the white pieces? What are my rook and queen doing down there? Sorry, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, I have two ways to get out of check. I can block with the bishop. I don't think that's good because of where their bishop is. Actually, if I block with the bishop, I don't think they would come down here to do that because I would check and then promote. I think if I blocked with the bishop, they would come back up here with their queen, and we would have probably a perpetual check situation. And if I brought the bishop back to block, they could come check over here, and if I blocked, they'd bring the queen back here. So I think I need to get out of check. If I get out of check, they cannot safely check me again if I move my king to d2. I don't know what they'll do then, but I know I have a check coming right here, and the king, that'll be mate actually. I have a mate coming right here if they don't do something about this situation. So I'm going to go king to d2 and see what my opponent plays. Oh, they gave away the queen. Well, I'm going to take it because my only other move is going to d3, and that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So I'm going to take their queen, and then they're going to check me with the rook down here, I guess. Oh, please let taking the queen be right. Oh, it was. Oh, I thought I was going to have to worry about them coming to check me. Oh, but then it wouldn't matter. I would have multiple ways to get out of check, including blocking with the bishop, and I would still have mate here. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go to the analysis board. I think the reason that they gave away the queen is because I have a mate incoming. After they play this, yes, I have a mate in 5. Okay. And I was right about the moving the bishop down. They're going to check me back here on e4, and then I would come up this way, but then they would check me here. I mixed up the colors, but you get the idea. They're going to have a perpetual check probably either way, especially since my queen is prevented from, guarding this square by my own pawn. Okay, so once I come up here, it actually was their best move to check me on c1 and my best move to take, because if I don't, they have a mate on me. Oh wow, I didn't realize it was that stark of a difference, but it was. If I had gone to d3, they would have checked me here, and I would have been slowly running out of places to go. I would have had to have gone to e4, where they could check me with their rook down here, and I would have to block that with the bishop, and they would just take it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I figured taking was the correct move, and their best move here would be to check me with the rook, which the puzzle stopped there because I have two possible moves here. For some reason, it's slightly faster to mate if I go to d2. Oh, because if I go to c2, they can check me again. With the bishop. But if I go to d2, they can only check me with the rook to slow down mate. And it wouldn't matter which way I took it with, but my mate would be faster if I took with the bishop. And I think that's because if I took with the king, they could check me. So I'm keeping my king on a dark square, take with the bishop. Now it doesn't matter what they do, I have mate here. Oh, it says if they played g4, I would have mate over here. But if they played d6, then this would be mate, right? Queen to d6. But wait, if they played g4, wouldn't d6 still be mate? Oh, I have all kinds of mates. I have a mate on f8, I have a mate on e8, but I'm pretty sure this would not be checkmate because they could move to the side. Okay. And there's probably a bunch of ways that I also would have like mate in 2 and stuff like that. Like, for example, I could take the knight, and then what are they going to do? Take this pawn, and then I checkmate them. Okay, good. I'm feeling good. That one had a slightly higher pass rate and was rated slightly lower. I'm not sure why the puzzle ratings are going down now, but maybe there's a little bit of randomness rather than just constantly climbing. Next puzzle. All right, as usual, we will look for checks first. I think taking that knight is my only check and my only capture in this position. I don't think that's good. One thing I would like to do is put my rook on h1, which threatens their queen, protected by the king, and it serves to protect the bishop and serves to set up a discover check later when I move the bishop. So what do they play if I put my rook on h1? Do they go ahead and take the bishop anyway? That doesn't seem right. Would they take the rook? If so, I've got another rook I can put on h1. They could check me here. That's probably where they would check me. But then wouldn't I just move out of check? Rook to h1, that looks like their only safe check. No, it does not. They could check me with the rook. And if I got out of check to f1, then they could take my rook. So I would have to, if they checked with the rook, I would have to get out of check to f3, and their queen would still be in danger. Is there anything else? Like, should I go to f3 first? I don't think I should. I'm going to play rook to h1. Hopefully that's right. Oh, it was. Oh, and they checked with the queen. I thought they were going to check with the rook. Okay. Well, then now I think I can just get out of check. Or should I block? I don't think I should block because I want my queen to be able to get down there after I move this bishop. Oh my. Well, I mean, those are my only two choices, right? No. If I put my queen there, they take the queen with the knight. So I've got to go king to f1. Well, now I can take that with my queen because they've checked me and opened up this. So I'm pretty sure I have to take that with my queen now. Wait, if I take with the queen, are they going to mate me? If I take that with my queen, they check here. I have to move up. They check here. Sorry, that's getting complicated. If I capture with the queen, then my queen's not guarding this square anymore, but their rook is. So I think they would check me on e2, and I would only have two choices. And I would probably choose g2 because that way my rooks are connected. But then they could check me with the rook. Oh my. Should I take with the pawn? Then they get my queen, but then I get their bishop with check. Get their rook with check with my bishop, and my rook is checking their king. Or I don't know. I'm going to take it with the queen. That's probably wrong, but this puzzle seems harder than the last few. Wait, that was right? What about this? Oh, no, they can't check me here because my queen's in the way, but they could pin my queen to my king, and then I would have to take their rook. Wait, am I ahead? Hold on. Let me go to this analysis board, because that's what I thought they would come here. And it says they wouldn't. It says they would take my queen. Why wouldn't they go here? Because I wouldn't go up. But I could. But my best move would just be to move over. And their best move is to give away the queen. And it says I wouldn't take it. So they would check here. And I could take it and still be ahead. But my best move would just be to go up here in front of this rook. And my bishop's hanging. But they wouldn't take it. Why wouldn't they take it? Oh, because then I would have a mate in two. So now their best move is rook to g8. That's why I wouldn't put my king on g2, but I put it on h2 instead. Now I take their queen with the a rook, and they can take mine. It's their best move, and I'll take back. And they're going to check me again, maybe. They might check me again, and I'm just going to block that check and open up a check of my own. They're going to come toward my bishop, but I'm going to protect my bishop, and I'm up plus 14. Wow. Yeah, I was pretty worried that I was in trouble here, but I didn't know what else to do, and it looked like if I took with my pawn, I would be in pretty big trouble, even though I would get the rook, because they could check me on f3, because the pawn would be gone. Okay, well, I'm glad I chose correctly. That puzzle was rated higher, 2256, but it still has a higher pass rate than the first puzzle, 56%. Right, I have time for at least one more. Let's keep going. I'm playing with the black pieces, okay? Well, I do have a check. I have multiple checks. You know what? Let's look at all of them. I have 5 checks with the queen, and I think those are, nope, I have 6 checks with the queen. Are those all my checks? I have 7 checks with the queen, 8 checks with the queen. I'm pretty sure only 2 of those are good, but I want to look at all of them. What if I check on f7? If I check on f7, the king can move over. I could check again on e7, but then the king can go up and probably get away. Those arrows are going to get messed up, aren't they? Oh, wow. But let's take off f7 for now, because I think the king gets away and if I check on f7. Okay, same thing. If I check on e7, I think the king can get away. So let's take off e7. If I check on d7, they can just take my queen straight away. So let's take off d7. If I check on c8, the king can get away. And up there, I think they would take my queen. So let's take that one off. And over here, their queen would take my queen. So let's take off b6 and a6. I think it's c6. If I put my queen on c6, where do they go? My king and bishop and pawn are guarding those 3 squares, and my queen would be guarding these, and my bishop's guarding that one. I think that's checkmate in 1. Okay. That one's rated 2100, but has a pass rate of 66%, a higher pass rate than those other puzzles, but yet it's rated higher than most of them. I would have gotten that more quickly, except I wanted to make sure that I checked all the checks. The first 2 that I saw that were safe were these 2, but I wanted to eliminate all the others just in case. But while I was doing that, I became fairly certain that this would be checkmate. It's just hard to say what I'm thinking and what I want to say at the same time. That's, at least for me, it's impossible. Okay, next puzzle. Wait, do I have another checkmate in 1? Because the first thing we look for is checks. No, they can block that with the queen. Would they block it with the queen? I think they have to block it with the queen. Let's see, am I ahead? No, I'm down a queen for a rook. But I can even things up by checking here because they can't get out because my pawns are guarding those 2 squares. My rook's cutting off the whole 7th rank, and this rook would be cutting off the whole 6th rank, and they can't capture that piece, so they would, I think, be forced to block with the queen. And then I would have, wait. Do I have mate there first? Should I have looked at rook to f7 first? Hold on. Rook to f7. No, they can just take that with their queen. And yes, I would get their queen, but they would get 2 of my pieces. If I check on d6 first with the rook, as we discussed, they have to block with the queen. I don't have to take it though, because now the queen is pinned and I can put this rook on f7, and I think that's checkmate because their own queen's in the way here. As we said, my pawn's guarding these squares. My knight's guarding over there and here, and my rook would... Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to play rook to d6, fingers crossed, and rook to f7. That one was rated 2415. Not the highest puzzle I've ever seen, because in my recent Puzzle Rush Survival, we saw 2 puzzles rated in the 2600s. But I think it's the highest rated puzzle I've ever seen when I'm doing this normal random puzzle solving. 2415. But it does have a pass rate of over 50%. Wait, maybe people with low puzzle ratings who aren't that good at puzzles don't get this high, so the only people that are seeing this puzzle are people with higher puzzle ratings, and that's why it has a higher pass rate. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. I'm glad I found it. I'm glad I got 7 in a row, but no, this is 6 in a row today. Thank you for spending your time here. Let me know what you're doing to get better at chess. I might try to incorporate some of your ideas if it's something that I can fit into my schedule, and I'll see you next time.